This is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place on Saturday, the 8th of March online. The candidate is Somalia Saveri. The candidate number is 271530. The examiner is Faatiha Aayat, and the examiner number is 213476. What is your full name, please?
My full name is Samaila Saberi.
And what may I call you today?
You can call me Samaila.
Okay. So now in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you consider yourself a creative person? Why or why not?
Well, I'm gonna say yes, I definitely consider myself a creative person because in certain problems, I try to think a creative way out of the problems. And my hobbies, they also have a variety. Like I'm into different kinds of things that include creative and features. So yeah, I consider myself a creative person.
All right. What usually inspires your creativity?
Um, I feel a need of creating something unique, like creating something that hasn't been created before, and it helps me to like reach my passion, and it gives me a sense of fulfillment. That's why I feel like that inspires my creativity.
All right. Have you ever tried creating your own art form or creative piece?
I definitely have, not that I always succeeded. I'm usually into more abstract kind of art, and whenever I try to create something of my new, I always fail at the first time, but gradually I get up back again. I keep trying, and sometimes I succeed.
Okay. And how important is imagination in your daily life or work?
Imagination for teenagers is really important in their daily life because being stuck in a robotic way, sometimes it can cause stress and anxiety as well. So imagination helps us to get out of that stress whenever we're reading books or looking at paintings. It gives us a sense of delightment, and it also helps to enrich our imagination.
All right, moving on to the second part, I will give you a topic and I'd like you to speak on it for 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you're welcome to make some notes. Do you understand?
Okay, yes.
So, I want you to describe a time when you used your creativity to solve a problem. You should say what the problem was, how you came up with the creative solution, what steps you took to implement your solution, and explain how you felt when your solution worked. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you are welcome to make notes if you wish. Your time starts now. All right, your 1 minute is over. You have 2 minutes to speak on this topic, and your time starts now.
Okay, so back in February, me and my friends were planning to make a wall magazine for a science fest, and the topic for a wall magazine, it was space themed. And the most common thing in space theme projects is like the solar system. So we wanted to include the solar system in our wall magazine, and my friend suggested to make flashcards and attach them on the wall magazine. But that I felt like it was a really common idea because 90% of the wall magazines I see on the topic space, they like attach flashcards like this, and it's kind of common. So later I thought to myself and then came up with a solution. I brought some clay and then I made a 3D sculpture of the solar system, and then I left a space on the wall magazine especially for that, and then I attached it there. And later on the day of the Science Fest, I took my magazine with my friends, and the audience really liked it. So I would say, uh, through that experience, I realized that sometimes we have to think out of track. It's not always helpful when we're always thinking about the common things everyone do. Sometimes when we think outside of the box, it can also give us really creative solutions.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to the third part, I'd like to ask you some more questions, and I'd like you to explain them in detail. How important
Okay.
is creativity in today's society? Do you think it's valued enough?
Well, creativity in today's society is really important, but unfortunately, in our country's perspective, it's not valued enough. And in today's society, creativity is important because today's society is now more, what should I say, like more prone towards the digital media, like more relied towards it. And in digital media, there are different kinds of jobs, different kinds of things to do, and those require skills. But through creativity, we can learn skills and like make things of our own as well. And creativity helps us to see new things even in common things. So when a person is creative, they can like come up with new solutions or new ideas that can also be posted on social media, or through the help of technology we can enhance the ideas even more. So I would say in today's society creativity is quite important.
All right. What are some ways that schools or workplaces can encourage creativity in students or employees?
Okay, in schools, campaigns can be arranged. Like when I was in seventh grade, I would arrange different kinds of campaigns with my friend. One of them was environmental campaign, and through campaigns, we can come up with different creative ideas because arranging a campaign, it requires different kinds of things like postcards or other posters, and it requires people to like spread words about the campaign too. So when someone is creative, they can easily come up with solutions for these kinds of problems. So schools can arrange campaigns, or if a school has a specific club, they can do creative works in the club as well. And through this, students will be more encouraged to be creative and learn stuff like that.
All right. How has technology influenced creativity and imagination in recent years?
Technology has had a big impact on creativity because now that artificial intelligence is very prevalent everywhere, so people are more reliant towards it. Like whenever a student needs ideas about projects or anything, they ask AI like ChatGPT's NVIDIA, and they provide with ideas. So students are more prone towards comfort more than using their brain. So it has had quite a negative impact, but again, technology does help us ease in our lives. It's up to us how we use it.
Thank you so much. And do you think creative thinking is more important than logical thinking when solving problems? Why or why not?
Well, it depends on the problem. If it's an analytical problem, then logical thinking is definitely important because logic helps us to scientifically and like fully get out of a specific problem. And creative thinking, it helps us to get out of a problem, but in a different or unique way. So it clearly depends on the problem, whether it's creativity or logical thinking that's going to give us the solution.
All right, thank you so much. That is the end of part three of the Ielts speaking exam. So, dear viewers, আমরা আরেকটি simulation drill দেখলাম. Honestly, I think Samad, I think you did very well. Um, যেরকমটা আমি আগের সিমুলেশন যেগুলো বলেছিলাম, এক্সামিনারসরা ইউজুয়ালি চারটি ক্রাইটেরিয়ার উপরে গ্রেড করে: fluency and coherence, lexical resources, grammatical range and accuracy, and pronunciation. এক এক করে যদি আমি আগাই, I think fluency and coherence you are very fluent. You knew what you were going to say in your speech. তোমার কথা বলার স্টাইলটা খুবই fluent ছিল. Um, আমরা দেখেছি যে অ্যানসারে you were able to include relevant examples from your own life and also connect them with some of the ways that I said to connect them with society and the broader community. You were very fluent in your speech. You were also very coherent. Lexical resource আমরা দেখেছি যে তোমার vocabulary খুবই ভালো ছিল। তোমার vocabulary that you were able to um, include words such as analytical thinking, এরকম specific vocabulary use করে you had good lexical resources. However, it would have been better if you also could have included a little more metaphors. আমরা দেখেছি যে একটা metaphor তুমি include করেছিলা robotic way. Um, in when you were talking about how students don't want to become robots or something like that. So robotic way, that was the one
Yes.
very good You could have included more metaphors like that. But overall lexical research, so you were very good. Grammatical range and accuracy তেও I think your grammar was great. এটাতে আমার কোনো feedback নেই. And pronunciation your pronunciation is very good. However, কথা বলার সময় আমরা জানি যে অনেক সময় in the flow of talking we may have one or two pronunciation mistakes, so that's not a big issue. Examiners এটার জন্য mark কাটবে না. When you said analytical thinking, I'm not exactly sure what you said, but analytical না বলে you said something else. মানে এটাই বলেছো, but it sounded like something else. But that was a very minor mistake. I don't think এটা কোনো ভুল ধরা উচিত। যেরকমটা আমি আগের সিমুলেশন ড্রিমেও বলেছিলাম যে পার্ট 2 তে এক্সামিনাররা চায় আমরা একটা monologue deliver করি for 2 minutes. However, তুমি যখন পার্ট 2 তে কথা বলেছো, you spoke for 1 minute and 21 seconds. So you had around 39 more seconds left. And তুমি যদি আরেকটু কথা বলতে, I think you would have used your time more wisely and you would have gotten higher marks. But এইটা ছাড়া
Okay.
overall very well. You were very fluent. Thank you so much for joining in. Inshallah, we're
Okay. Bye.